All right, so the Baldur's Gate 3 devs said some crazy stuff at the DICE Awards in Las Vegas, and it goes along with what I've been saying over the last week about the game industry changing. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what they said and how it showed that the game industry is changing and how they called out publishers for shady activity and for firings. So we'll get into what they said. So the director of publishing, Michael Dowse, said on stage that none of Baldur's Gate 3's success would have been possible without the work of all the developers who helped build the game. He said the industry is bad sometimes at showing developers what they're worth. And I mean, we all know this. If you don't follow, I mean, you could just look at any publisher like Activision with the sexual harassment cases, Microsoft only giving contracts for 15 months and not hiring full time. He goes on to say many people were let go at the start of this year. Dowse continued, I want you to know that you are talented and that you matter and that you are the future of this industry. Don't let that flame be extinguished by our collective mistakes. I know everyone here is scared because shit's really fucked up. All of your projections are wrong and it's scary. But we persevere as an industry. We will persevere as an industry and you will all find your place and you will all be welcomed back with open arms. And we'll still be making games for the players and for you and with these guys. And then we have a tweet here from Sarah M. I don't know who she is, but she says, many people were let go at the start of this year, and there were many people who were let go at the start of this year, like thousands of people, game developers. Don't let that flame be extinguished by our collective mistakes. And when they say their collective mistakes, he's probably referring to the heads, the managers at studios and publishers. We don't have shareholders, but we also don't think about them. Oh, that's a new one I saw. So we don't have shareholders, but we also don't think about them. Meaning they don't care about shareholders or investors. They do what they think is the best, and they're not under the control of what the shareholders want. All right. We ask you to pay one price only for the game, and that's it. You can own it for the rest of your life. Building a community, building a player base, building games that are actually fun is going to make you the most money. That's also from Sarah M. And this is what I've been saying. Yeah, you build a good game, you'll get a good player base, a good community, games that are actually fun, and people will buy the game and it will make the most money. You don't need microtransactions. I always go back to Halo. Halo 1, 2, 3 Reach sold way more than Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. And for at least 5 and Infinite had microtransactions. And don't tell me that they made money. Because Halo Infinite, you could just get on Game Pass. And people didn't even pay the full $70, $60. Back when Halo 3 came out, people would give you hundreds of dollars. People would give like pre-order bonus of $70, and then the DLCs, the 3 DLCs, and each copy of Halo like sold over, off each customer they had over $100 per customer between the game, limited editions, and the DLCs. So head of production David Walgrave followed up by talking about community building as a key part of Larian's philosophy and throwing shade at microtransactions and companies being beholden to shareholders, like the Embracer Group, whose CEO's callous comments about recent layoffs inspired widespread online backlash earlier this week. And if you don't know, the Embracer Group, I believe, was the group that bought a bunch of studios and then laid off a bunch of people. And Darian is the studio behind Baldur's Gate 3. So what we have tried in the last 20 years is to treat people like we would like to be treated ourselves as players, as gamers, he said, so we don't make decisions where we think this could make us the most money. In the long run, building a community, building a player base, building games that are actually fun is going to make you the most money. In the months since Baldur's Gate 3 launched on PC, the game has been held up as a shining example of what the AAA machine should be in terms of creating a huge, high-quality game without microtransactions and other predatory monetization schemes. A lot of that is only possible because Larian is its own majority shareholder. Though Tencent has a 30% ownership stake, that means Larian is well-funded but not beholden to Tencent's whims when it comes to design decisions. It's a privileged position to be in, but it's also encouraging to see the Larian team advocate for the value of people in an industry that just laid off thousands of them in the last 6 weeks. So, yeah, everyone in the game industry is getting laid off. It's like I've been saying that it's becoming too expensive to develop games. But this right here shows and proves that if you just make a good quality game, you will make profit and you don't need to lay off people. And it's just great that the developers of, I think, the game of the year came out and called out the bullshit that's happening right now in the gaming industry. Whereas they wanted to say this at the Game Award show back, where is it? Well, at the Game Awards show, I forgot when that was, but they weren't allowed to, they didn't allow the winners to speak at all. And so they took their opportunity at the DICE Awards to speak. So, yep, this is what he said. I thought it was very interesting, and thanks for watching.